So this is Nicholas Wilton, and we're going to break down his launch of his program he calls Art to Life. So Art to Life is a program where he teaches how to make art. Nicholas is a painter, an accomplished painter. He's done some in-person workshops, but he had no online experience, no online marketing experience, had a very small list. And he just joined PLF and got right down to it and had an amazing launch. An amazing launch considering it was starting from scratch, no experience. Teaching how to make art isn't like one of those what you think of as one of the great big money niches, and yet his launch did over $400,000. So it's pretty amazing. So we're going to break down PLC1 in this video. I'm just going to show you a little clip of Nicholas so you can get a feel for him. And I will warn you, the audio of his clips is not going to be great just by the virtue that we're capturing it. But we're also giving you his entire video so you can actually watch his entire video. And here I'm going to break down, mostly I'm going to be going through the transcript of his video. But I just wanted to show you a little bit of the video just to get you a feel for Nick.
Hi, today I want to talk about the creative process and how you can get your work to be made more easily, be more powerful, and be more like you. My name is Nicholas Wilton. I'm a fine artist. We're standing in my studio in Sausalito. I've been painting my entire life, been making art my whole life. I've worked with thousands of people, helping them bring their work out to make their work more potent and more powerful.
So as you can see, first of all, I think Nick's got great presence on camera, but he's not super polished. He's got lots of ums in here. He's got lots of ahs in here. Not super polished. And frankly, not unlike me in the way he presents. I have plenty of ums and ahs as well. Less so when I'm scripted, but I absolutely do. So you don't have to be uber professional when you're presenting. I mean, if you look at his apron, it's got a twist in it around his neck, and it would look better if it was off his collar. It doesn't matter. What matters is you bringing the authentic you. And I think he's got great presence, and he knows what he's talking about. And I like the set, and it's lit properly. I like the way he came on camera. If we go back to that.
Hi, today I want to talk about the creative process.
There's nothing that screams slick professional salesman here, and he's not, but I really like his presence. So now let's head on over and take a look at his script. So this is actually, I said script, but this is a transcript. I'm not sure if Nicholas was working from a script or not. This is the transcript, and you can see as we go through there'll be timestamps. Like right here, that's the 30-second mark. So when he starts off, he does a great job of introducing himself. Just comes out and says hi, introduces himself, standing in a studio. I've been painting my entire life, making art my whole life, worked with thousands of people, helping them bring their work out to make their work more potent, more powerful, and more like themselves. So that right over here, you can see my note. It's just an introduction, and it's positioning for himself, and it's building authority to say he's worked with all these people. Doesn't say he's worked with them online, because he hasn't. He's worked with them offline. He's helped people offline, but he's never taught online. Then right in here, he starts to position the pain, the problem of the viewer that they have as an artist. And he starts to foreshadow the transformation. So he says, this happened quite by accident. It actually happened through my own struggle early on. I was always trying to make work. And so this is a transcript. So transcripts aren't always perfect English. And if you go back, when he delivers this line, he pulls it off just fine. But here in the transcript, it looks awkward. But I was always trying to make it work. And I struggled. I struggled a lot to try to make my work powerful and I should just make work that I liked. So he's starting to talk about that pain. Then here he brings out that pain quite a bit more. He defines it better in this part. And there's an old copywriting term called dimensionalizing. And this is where it's sort of where you give it dimension and you give it shape and you fill it out. One day you make something that's really great, and sometimes it can get done so easily. Then you work 2 more days, then you make a few more things and those are terrible. Then you feel like giving up, then you get frustrated, then you make something else and it looks great. Then you do something you hate. So go back and watch how he delivers this. And his delivery of this was great, and it was super authentic and super real. And you could tell that he was speaking from experience. And then down here, he talks about the discovery of the solution. I love the creative process, but it really didn't get going. It didn't happen for me until I started to pay attention to the process of my work and what was actually happening. And then down here, I started to take notes when things were working and when things weren't. And he took notes over decades, over 20 years of writing it down. So this is, building the value of what he's about to deliver. How did this happen? How could I be so good one day and bad the next day? So again, he's tying it back to the problem. And that's when he came up with the system. And that's when he came up with the art to life principles. Now he continues down here. This is where he starts to talk about the solution. So here he talks about the discovery of the solution. And now he gets a little more into the nitty gritty of what the solution is. He's not selling what it is. He's just talking about it, and he's setting up the teaching of the solution. So that's a key piece. It's not like he's in sales mode here. He's just giving the reason why he's about to teach this stuff. So this is, I've been teaching this for 20 years now, and it's evolved through a lot of trial and error. Of course there's trial and error. There's a lot of pain there. It took him a lot of pain to get to the solution, which of course makes it more intriguing and more valuable. It's just, there's some complexity here, but if you get these principles, you can transform your work. When I first started teaching this, I could take someone that was vaguely, minorly interested in art, had no experience, and they could actually start creating powerful stuff. Again, you should definitely go check out the video and how he talks about it. It's really strong. I'm not interested in teaching a set of techniques or teaching a way of working or working with certain materials, but he wants to talk about these principles, these ideas that are bigger than the materials. So that's all the setup for the solution. And he keeps on going on here and talking a little bit more, setting up the solution. And then down in here, and he starts to set up the actual teaching in a stronger way. He talks about exactly what he's going to be teaching. And down in here is where he digs into the teaching. And he really goes deep. So this is about, somewhere in here, you could say this is the start of the teaching at 4 minutes and 30 seconds, or you could say it starts here at 5 minutes. Somewhere in this 4.5 to 5.5 minute mark, he starts teaching. And then he just goes on. He teaches. And he teaches deeply. And if you watch the videos, he's actually demonstrating. He's actually painting and demonstrating. Still teaching down here at the 12-minute mark. And he's still teaching down here. It's been about 12 minutes of teaching, and it's good, strong teaching. And he knows his teaching. He has been teaching this stuff offline, and he knows what can get results. And down here, he starts to transition into the conclusion. Okay, so he's been teaching. We're up to about 12 to 13, maybe 14 minutes of teaching. Now here's the transition. Okay, so when I learned about this about design, it was really helpful for me. So if this sounds new to you, if you haven't heard of this, or it's coming to you in a new way, it's really great, because this is an opportunity to take this information, and it's really powerful. Now, in this whole video, the one thing I don't love is I don't love his overall conclusion. He hits the pieces he needs to hit, but it feels a little abrupt to me. To be going 18 minutes and then just to wrap this up in a minute or so, minute and a half. But this is where he starts to transition into the conclusion. Here's where he foreshadows the next video. In the upcoming video, we're really going to be diving into value. Design and value work together, and those are really, really powerful. They're by far the most powerful tools that you can use to change your work. It's amazing. Okay, that's good foreshadowing. I liked it. Then this is the CTA, the call to action is what CTA means, a call to action. And for him, it's a call for comments, which is great. Please ask questions. I'm super into answering them below. And feedback if you ask a question and you're not sure because I've gone over something too quickly or it's a little murky. It's really helpful for everyone. So this just feels a little jumbly here, and it feels like he just piled it all in. It's like, here's a transition, here's a foreshadow, here's a call to action. It just feels a little bit all piled in here. And then here he goes back to foreshadowing. I like this last piece, but in here, I just think probably it took a few more seconds in here and try to be a little bit more articulate here, then I think it would be stronger. But overall, well, first of all, the proof's in the pudding. This launched at $400,000. This video got lots and lots of comments. People loved it. So it was a great video. It is a great video. The do differently is I probably would spend a little more time here and put a little more time. And frankly, ending videos is the thing that people struggle with the most. It's the hardest thing. And trust me, I struggle with just like everyone else does. So it is good to give some forethought into how you are going to end your videos. But the reality is this very end of it, the very, very end, is a nice call to action. A nice call to action. I'm sorry, a nice foreshadowing of the next video.